Hello and welcome to Skills to Pay the Bills. I am your host, Tia Young, and sitting right next to me is my co-host, Shirley Liu. Today, we are going to talk about hunger in Northern Virginia, Part 1, and how some charitable organizations are meeting the needs of families in Northern Virginia. We are hoping that more corporate organizations and small businesses will be compelled to reach out and help food bank organizations around the nation feed the millions of hungry children, seniors, and families. Some of these folks are our employees. We look at them every day and see the hopelessness in their eyes, or at least suspect that something is not quite right. But we don't ask, and when we do hear about an issue, we ignore it and say, it's not my problem. Our panel of experts are from the Share Food Network, DC metro area. Please meet JAYNEE, ACEVEDO, Executive Director, Debbie Smith, Community Developer, and Oliver Johnson, Operations Manager. Panelists, welcome to Skills to Pay the Bills. How are you today?
Great,
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming, and Shirley, thank you for co-hosting with me today.
Sure, it's going to be a fun event.
Good. Well, we're going to start right out with JAYNEE. JAYNEE, what is the Share all about, and what does your organization do?
Share is one of Washington's best kept secrets. We are a non-emergency monthly food distribution network serving between 5,000 and 14,000 families who want to save money on their groceries every month. We focus on healthy, affordable foods, specifically proteins and fresh produce, fresh fruits and vegetables. Essentially, we sell this food at a 50% discount, and we like to think of it as sort of the ABCs of your grocery shopping. A is affordable, because the way we purchase is not at the wholesale, but at the distribution level.
I see.
Then we manage our distribution through hundreds of volunteers. That's also a savings. So that's the affordable part.
Right.
The B is basic food, good basic chicken, rice, beans, food that is comfortable in any kitchen, that goes cross-culturally and cross-generationally. And the C is consistency. Unlike many emergency food resources, Share being a non-emergency resource, we are selling a consistent value package of groceries every month, 12 months out of 12. You can always count on 4 to 5 pounds of protein and 8 to 12 pounds of produce at a consistent price.
Right. So this is rain, sleet, shine, snow.
You got it.
Always.
You got it.
That's wonderful.
You got it.
Debbie.
Yes.
Who does Share serve?
Share serves everyone. Anyone that can eat can participate with Share. We have many groups, many organizations that host the Share program. We have churches, we have schools, we have senior centers, we have wellness centers. We have all kind of community organizations that participate with the Share Food program. And even during our holiday months, we even have more. We have housing developments, real estate agencies. At times we have unions that participate with us. We have a multitude of organizations that host the Share program that we are very proud of.
Wow, that's a lot. That's fantastic. That's everybody.
Yes.
Like you said, that's everybody.
Tia, if you have teeth, gums in your mouth, you can participate with the Share program.
Shirley, you had a question for Ollie, number 3.
Yes, let me ask you this. How is Share able to provide food at such a really low price?
Well, I think Janie's echoed what Janie said. It's the best kept secret. Volunteers through volunteers, and we're a nonprofit. Okay. Also, we get this, the other thing that's really misunderstood, this is not secondhand food. It's the same food you see in the grocery store. We can get this, we get it straight from the vendors. Okay. Also, a lot of times it's overrun. If they overproduce, any manufacturer, any product is overproduced, it goes on the market to us at a reduced price to liquidate it. For example, the food markets will not take anything unless it's set 6 months of a shelf life. the food is perfectly well, and if it's say 5 months, we would buy that at a discount price and pass it on to our customers. We're strictly heavily on the volunteerism. That's SHARE's motto basically, and we have students coming in helping us. They have to do volunteer work, and we have a skeleton crew. And volunteers, through volunteerism and getting it through a bargain, basically.
Yeah. If I can may ask one
Sure.
more question. Either three of you could answer me this question. When I had mentioned briefly about the SHARE Network program, some of the perception out there, some of the folks, they said, well, we don't have as much money and don't have as much food to go around, but shouldn't this program really save for people who absolutely needs it? And people who is doing some kind of income should not be participating. I mean, what is your thoughts?
Well, Debbie, just echoing Debbie, it's for everyone. And that's another misnomer. This program is for everyone that want to basically save money, your economic, your food, for food. And again, everybody, it's just a best kept secret. Everyone can participate.
Absolutely.
And everyone's encouraged to participate, but you want to save food dollars, basically. Again, it's not secondhand food. You ask people, say, well, how can you do that? Everyone think because you're selling it at a 50% discount, it's second-rated food, but it's not, as you will see in our display here. And hopefully we will try it today. We'll give this to you folks to take home to try to see that's the same
That's
potato.
exciting.
Yeah.
That's a treat.
Well, Oliver, I have a question also for you. You mentioned, this is for our viewers and even for me, what really is secondhand food?
Well, you're talking second. It could be a flaw in the food, etc. If you look at our potatoes, for example, the same potatoes you see in any retail store, any supermarket, the same potatoes come from the same folks. These potatoes came from Delaware this month.
Okay.
And basically, it's they start in North Carolina and ends up in Maine, and they're freshly picked. If you will see the same potatoes you'll see in any grocery store in the area.
Okay, good, thank you. Also, you've got me hungry now talking about the food here, and you've graced our studio with all this fresh food and meats.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your August project, the food project for August, and some of the things that you brought here today?
Well, yes, we're in distribution cycle now. Our distribution is today and tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow at 5:30, starting at 5:30 with distribution.
A.M.?
A.M.
Yes.
To 12 noon.
Okay.
We'll bring the sun up tomorrow morning. Basically, our menu, we have fresh produce. In our menu this month, we have potatoes, onions, Spanish onions, cabbage, peaches. What else I might miss something?
Well, let's see, it's right here. So we have the cabbage, the white potatoes, the peaches, the Spanish onions, the cantaloupe, the celery.
That's our produce.
That's the produce.
Yes.
Okay, and do you also have like special packages every month, or is just some months? Maybe like the holidays, you have turkeys, or do you have special packages every month, JAYNEE?
We have special packages every month,
Okay.
and they tend to focus on seasonal deals that we might, amazing purchases we might be able to make, or something festive or special for the holidays, such as turkeys at Thanksgiving. To go back, though, if I may, to your question about families who are working and should they or should they not participate.
Right.
The really important thing to know and remember about SHARE is that we are a network with buying power because we purchase that food. And the more people who join our network, the stronger we become.
Oh, that's great.
So for anyone who thinks, oh, I would really like to join SHARE and save that money on my groceries, but someone may need it more,
Yes.
they're strengthening us by joining us, not diluting what's available
That's
to
great.
others.
So strength in numbers.
Strength in numbers, strength in buying power, and the truth is SHARE is hard work out at the community level, and the more people, the more families each unit, each host site serves, the more fulfilling the work they're doing in the community.
Yes, right. Well, Debbie, I know by now people are probably asking, well, how does one qualify for this? How does one qualify for SHARE food?
Qualification is very easy. Just participate. We have different organizations in various zip code areas of the metropolitan area. And what we do when people call the warehouse, we give them a particular host site in their zip code area. We give them the contact information of that coordinator of the site, and they can call that particular site and place an order right there. And many of our people that participate, they can look out their doors and see a share host site and walk to it.
Wow.
We provide a share host site in their zip code area so that it would be convenient for them to pick up their packages.
Wow, that's fantastic. How many members do you have? Just, I'm curious.
On an average month, recent data, 273 host sites participate with us. So we think of roughly 300 because at the holiday time, when those additional groups participate, we're closer to 360.
Wow. Now, are your host sites nonprofits, or can they be for-profit organizations? What kind of who is a host site?
Well, our host sites, as I said before, we have churches.
Okay.
They're host sites.
Okay.
They're host sites for particular reasons. Many of our churches use SHARE or adopt SHARE as a ministry.
Oh, okay.
So we have many churches. The bulk of SHARE are our churches.
Okay.
And then we have other community-based organizations that host the SHARE program. Okay. These are legitimate organizations. We have YMCA, wellness centers. Right. We have hospitals that participate with us. The military bases participate with us. Unions participate, schools participate with us.
That's fantastic.
And during the holiday months, even more. Government. The government buildings participate with us, real estate agencies. We have quite a few organizations that make up the Share Food family.
Wow, that is fantastic. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to take a short station break, but we will be returning to our panel from the Share Food Network. Don't touch that dial.
Hey, Lena, where's yours?
Welcome back. You're watching Skills to Pay the Bills with co-host Shirley Liu and our special panel from the Share Food Network, DC metro area. I have a couple of questions that I definitely want to get in. I mean, we have about 20 questions for you guys, and I know we're not going to get to all of them before the end of the show. But one is the price. This has got to cost $60 or $70 for a family. Oliver, can you tell us about the pricing?
Sure. Our pricing, our basic value package every month, that from 12 to 14 items, proteins, maybe dessert, and produce, is $20.
Wow.
It's $20.
Wait a minute.
And it's been
$20?
It's a struggle.
Really?
It's been
Wow.
$20 for 7 years, and we try to keep it at that to make it affordable for our participants, of course. Our special package, it depends on the market, because a lot of times we have what the market bears. It might be more than that, it depends. So we try to keep it as low as we can. Of course, if you get a special item like beef or something like that, then of course it's going to go up, or shrimp or that type of thing. It usually go up to whatever the market bears, but we have a budget to keep it within $20 that the participant pay, and that's been, like I said, for 7 years.
Do you know, I go in the grocery store and I will have 3 items and it'll be almost 30 bucks. $20, and it sounds like it would feed a family of maybe 3 or 4.
This is $20.
Yes.
Wow.
For $20, you would get these 21.5 pounds of food that includes chicken thighs, some seasoned chicken breast ready to cook, the ham steak, 2 pounds of black beans, which is an excellent protein.
Yes.
Wow.
That's enough to feed a family of 4 or 5.
Yes.
I would think, yeah.
And in most fast food, you can go in there and it costs even more than 20 bucks.
Yes.
You
That's
know,
true.
just one meal.
That's true.
Well, the other thing to highlight, ladies, is that If you have a large family, you could buy 4
Exactly.
share packages,
Still come out on
fill
top.
your freezer,
Right.
prepare your produce, cook, and you have half of your groceries for the month.
Right. That's right. That's great.
It's available in unlimited quantities. You just need to place the order so we know
Right.
what to buy.
Right. Well, Debbie, this question is for you. I always feel that a company, an organization is as good as its organizational structure. Can you talk to us a little bit about the structure?
The structure of the Share Food Network?
Yes, yes.
So, do you know that Share is about to celebrate its 25th anniversary?
Wow.
No, we didn't
So
know
when we
that.
talk about the best kept secret, it's been the best kept
Yes.
secret for the longest
25
time.
years.
In April, we celebrate 25 years. Share is a program of the Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Washington. And we have an advisory council that supports our activities, but all of our infrastructure is supported by Catholic Charities, leaving our staff to do the work at Share. Our central warehouse is in Hyattsville, Maryland, and our full-time staff of 9 distributes, sells, and manages to put 2 million pounds of food out to the community each year through those 300 host sites. So you can imagine how significant volunteerism is for us.
Yes.
And we just couldn't manage without them. So think of Share as the central warehouse that receives, stores, manages, and then distributes food to those 300 teams who come to pick up on distribution day.
Okay.
Those teams go back to their neighborhoods and distribute directly to their customers.
Okay.
So
That
that's
is
our
amazing.
structure.
I'm still stuck on, I remember earlier you said 1/3 of the staff, and I'm thinking surely she means more than, 9 or 10 people, but
Oh, no.
9 people do the work.
How do you do it?
Talk about the volunteerism. How important is that?
You know,
That seems like the lifeblood.
If we didn't have the volunteers, the program would not exist. We usually have about close to 3,000 volunteers within a year's time.
Wow.
And we love the volunteers, and the volunteers, we have quite a few children that volunteers because they need volunteer hours in order to graduate from high school.
And so what ages are the children that you can accept into? Is it just high school kids or can they be younger?
No, we have kids as young as 4 years old
Get out of here.
that will come to the warehouse to do volunteer work. We give them, certain jobs that they can handle. Cutting up, they don't cut up, but they break down boxes. We have a mesh bags that we put potatoes in. They can do that, tie a knot on the mesh bags and fill them up with potatoes. It's just different jobs that we have for everyone to come to the warehouse. We have seniors that come to the warehouse that volunteers. Many of our seniors are retired.
Wow.
They want to get out the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can come to Share.
Right.
We will
really
put
nice.
them to work.
Yeah, just to echo
That is
that,
wonderful.
it's a win-win. It's a win situation for us and
For
them.
everybody,
And
yeah.
basically, to answer your question, if we didn't have volunteers, our costs would go up tremendously. So it's a cost saving. It's a win-win for everyone.
Well, now this question is for all of you or any one of you who would choose to answer it. I know that tomorrow is what you call D-Day. Can you tell us what a D-Day is like? When he said 5:30 in the morning, I'm anxious now to hear what happens. How is that all put together, and what would a person expect on D-Day?
All I can say is woo-wee, because we usually get there, JAYNEE and myself, we get there about 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Ollie, he's there earlier.
Gold medal awards
2
for
o'clock.
all of you guys.
Ollie in the warehouse
yeah.
begin about 2.
2 a.m.
Making preparation, get everything ready to go.
Oh my
Distribution
What a
God.
starts
commitment.
at
What a
5:30.
commitment.
5:30 a.m. starts tomorrow morning, and people are there waiting.
At 5:30, you have people that are waiting
Yes,
to come.
it's 5 o'clock. Yes,
If I'm late and get to the warehouse just a little after 5, it's hard to find a place to park.
Now when Tia told me 8 a.m., I said, "Are you sure 8 a.m.?" Because to me it was like 8 a.m., 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, unbelievable.
And we do have satellite sites as well. Ollie's there early preparing for our drivers that will go to our various satellite sites. We have a satellite site in Hughesville, Maryland. So a truck from the warehouse will go to Hughesville. A truck from the warehouse will go to Baltimore. A truck will go to Fredericksburg, Virginia. A truck will go to Frederick, Maryland. We have trucks that we call these satellite sites. We have a truck that come up to receive food that will take the food to Newport News, Virginia. So D-Day, Friday and Saturday is very, very busy for us.
Wow.
We left distribution to be with you today.
I know, and I'm so grateful. I'm thinking about that. I'm so grateful. I'm feeling a little guilty here.
Well, if I could just touch back on the volunteers, and Debbie talked about the 4-year-olds.
Yes.
As we left the warehouse, one of our original volunteers who's been working and volunteering at SHARE for all 24 years, Ms. Gibson, is not in her 90s. And I have the most wonderful photograph of the little 4-year-old and Ms. Gibson teaching her how to check in our customers. It's absolutely beautiful. And if I may, just quickly on the volunteerism, there are many layers of volunteerism with SHARE. There are 3 layers because we ask each of our customers, in addition to paying their $20 for the groceries, to demonstrate how they have strengthened their community in some way by 2 hours of volunteer service that month. And that can be done from their home. That could be reading aloud to children in their library. That could be cleaning their church. That could be watching someone's pet while they're away. But by strengthening community, every single customer is a volunteer. Right. Then the next layer of volunteerism is at the host site level, where everyone is a member of the team that handles their local distribution. And the third layer of volunteerism is a core of veteran volunteers that we couldn't manage our distribution without. These are folks who come into the warehouse at all hours, who grab their clipboard, who know exactly what to do, and move pallets of food around and help us count and display and make sure everyone gets out the door.
Right. So could your core volunteers be like the military or Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts or youth group organizations that come in and help out as a core team?
Yes. A lot
That's
of our
amazing.
original volunteers are also board and advisory council members who are just very passionate about SHARE.
Yeah, for example, today we had kids from Howard University came in, freshmen. They came in during an orientation week. This is their orientation week. Classes start Monday, so about 10 or 12 came in to volunteer. And they're all from out the city, not from throughout the United States. So we get from University of Maryland, Georgetown. So we get
High schools.
Yes.
We even had elementary school children come and volunteer at the warehouse from some private schools in the area.
Now I keep going back to this 5:30 in the morning. Let's say that Shirley and I are going to be there tomorrow at 5:30 in the morning. Would we be just looking at each other? What would happen? I mean, what would be the process? We come in and somebody's there to greet us, and what's the next step? What do we do? Walk us through it.
Well,
yes, go ahead.
Well, first of all, we know you call up and say you want to come in because we have to manage the volunteers, because we can't have too many volunteers or not too few volunteers. So we know exactly, not exactly, but a ballpark how many volunteers we come in tomorrow, and we'd be prepared to have assignments for you. And we train you a lot. As JAYNEE mentioned, we have our core volunteers that come every month, and they're train the trainer type of deal. Okay. And we can put you to work, but we want to make sure you come and know how many folks we're getting in, so we don't have an overrun to manage it. So tomorrow we know our volunteer coordinator knows how many folks, ballpark how many we're going to have tomorrow, and we'll be prepared to assist them.
By the way, tomorrow I come at 8 o'clock. She comes at 5:30.
Yeah, okay.
I hope we'll have food left at 8 o'clock. Yes, we will have food left at 8 o'clock.
Shirley, that's great too, because Ms. Twitty is the volunteer coordinator, and she staggers the volunteers. 5:30, some come in at 5:30, 8 o'clock, different times of the morning. So you would be that 8 o'clock volunteer, and Tia would be the 5:31
volunteer. Well, I want the viewers to know that Shirley and I will be there tomorrow morning. Now, we're not on the 5:30. We're on the. I think we are on the 8 o'clock. We're on the 8 o'clock schedule.
We will look forward to seeing you.
And we are just so excited. We're so excited that you are here. the clock on the wall says that we are out of time. So I want to thank you, Shirley Lou, for co-hosting with me today. We also want to thank our Share Food Network panelists, JAYNEE ACEVEDO, Debbie Smith, and Oliver Johnson, for all that you do to feed those who are hungry. Not only here in the DC metropolitan area, but across the United States of America, because I know Share goes all over. It's not just here. I sincerely hope that we have touched some hearts today and that you will begin to give more support and assistance from the public, that you'll begin to get more support from the public, and especially from corporations and small businesses. Thank you so much for watching Skills to Pay the Bills, and we will see you soon on Feeding the Hungry in Northern Virginia. We're gonna have a part 2. Bye-bye.